Well, I didn't think we'd be talking about this today. In an era that theoretically could revive Alkaline Trio, with Matt Skiba no longer being a part of Blink 182, we have had in the last couple of weeks the news of Matt Skiba starting a new side project, and now today, much more significantly, longtime drummer Derek Grant stepping down from the band. Let's be perfectly clear. From what we know right now, there is no issues between the band and Derek Grant. If we find out about that later, I think we can deal with that set of facts at that point. Right now, all we have to go off of is official statements. And here's the statement as it was released by Derek Grant, but through the official Alkaline Trio social media channels. It is with mixed emotions that I've decided to step down as drummer for Alkaline Trio. The demands of being in a touring band have become increasingly difficult in recent years. And while this was a difficult decision to make, it is the best thing for me and my mental health. I want to thank everyone who supported the band. Alkaline Trio has the best fans in the world, many of whom I've gotten to know over the years. I'll miss seeing all of you. I also want to thank Blair Dickerson for being a true friend and great manager. Most of all, I want to thank Matt and Dan for 22 amazing years. I got to travel the world playing music with two of my best friends, and the bond we share can never be broken. I wish them all the best moving forward. While I'll be focusing more on production music and visual art, I promise you, you haven't heard the last of me. Signed, Derek. So that was Derek's official response, but also tagged with these posts was a response by the band. In light of Derek's decision to step down as a member of the band, we'd like to send our love and thanks for everything he contributed. It is impossible to put into words all he's done, but we are endlessly proud of what we accomplished with one another. Beyond the music, we appreciate our memories, the tours, traveling the world, spending weeks making music in the studio, everything. We love you, Derek, and hope your next chapters will be filled with success and happiness. So that is the official word coming out of both the band and Derek. So based on those statements, this seems to be a very personal thing for Derek. It kind of sounds like he felt like going on tour and continuing with the band would not be the best for his mental health. And if that's how he feels, and if he's gotten advice to that, good for him. Honestly, I'm proud of him. What we want as fans is not that important. There's a real human being in there, and if he wants to take care of himself, and the best way to take care of himself is not touring or being a part of Alkaline Trio, then that's the best possible decision that he can make. It's a bummer because it ends a really important chapter in one of the great pop punk bands of all time in Alkaline Trio. Although Derek always has kind of felt like the new guy from the outside because it really is Matt and Dan's band, Derek is the longest serving third member in a band that early on had like this Spinal Tap thing with drummers. They always had great drummers and really incisive drummers, but they never had the consistent professional drummer that Derek was. And furthermore, Derek made some of the best music that Alkaline Trio ever made. That was kind of a direct result of Derek. I think a lot of Alkaline Trio fans would put Good Morning and Crimson as the peak of the band. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, but objectively, that was probably their commercial zenith, like their height, and they've always stayed at a pretty even high. And even some of the stuff before that, I think you can also credit to Derek. Derek did a lot of touring on the early catalog, so it's not as if Derek is disassociated from early Alkaline Trio. But his legacy also extends outside of the band. He wasn't just some guy that got lucky with Alkaline Trio. Derek Grant was an accomplished musician. In fact, my man was even once asked to front a Misfits reunion. Not just play drums, but front a Misfits reunion. Beyond that, he's played with the Suicide Machines, Face to Face, and tons of others. He's made original music. And furthermore, he's always just kind of seemed like a cool guy. There's a great podcast he did with Vagrant Records where he talks about his time entering the band and his role within the band. And he seemed like such a grateful dude. He's always seemed like a cool counterbalance to the very emotional presentation of Matt and Dan. And he's just a super talented musician and added a lot to the sound. So it's a bummer to see him go. Happy for him, though, if it's the best decision for him. We'll definitely talk about this more going forward. Stay tuned to the channel for the live streams. Check you out later, guys.